Live from Municipal Stadium here in Waterbury, Connecticut, we bring you this presentation of NE10 football to kick off your first Saturday in October. Today it's the undefeated Post-University Eagles hosting the 2-2 St. Anselm Hawks. Good afternoon and welcome into the press box here at Municipal Stadium, led by our Athletic Communications Director, Michael Vesci, and backed by our team of production graduate assistants. My name is Max Stapleton, and we're thrilled to be bringing you through today's action. After a week off, the Eagles should be feeling rested and ready to take on their toughest test of the season up to this point today. Post is coming off a 27-19 victory at Pace University a couple of weeks ago and is now back to their home field, backed by the number one rushing attack in the conference and one of the best in D2 overall. The Eagles and Adonis White will try to run the ball against one of the toughest running defenses in the NE10 in the St. Anselm Hawks. Meanwhile, for those visitors, they come into this game off their second victory of the season, both of which came against Pace University. The Hawks are also backed by a strong running game, but an even stronger defense, holding opponents to a conference-best 304 yards a game and second-best 121 rushing yards per game. Despite the good numbers, both of their games against teams not named Pace University have been blowout losses on the road. So it'll be interesting to see if they can fare better today against a very good Eagles team who has yet to see a loss so far this year. So we just saw the coin toss, and we'll be back with the kickoff here in just a few minutes. So you're watching Post University football. Welcome back into Municipal Stadium here in Waterbury, Connecticut. As the undefeated Post Eagles take the field, so do the 2-2 St. Anselm Hawks. The Hawks are kicking off here first in the first half. The Eagles will get the ball first, and always something to watch out for here on special teams, especially with the Eagles and Israel Geraldo back to return. Israel Geraldo, one of the Division II's just best returners in general, maybe the best here in the Northeast 10. Getting ready to kick it off, it's Michael Guarnieri. He looks set, the Hawks look set, and they do a little squib kick over to the 40-yard line, and they look to recover an onside kick, and I believe they do. My goodness, a surprise trick onside kick here from St. Anselm. They get the ball first to kick off this game. Wow, how about that play? Drawn up by head coach Joe Adam in his 10th season for the Hawks, and all of a sudden, it's going to go the other way. St. Anselm is going to get the ball first here in this first half, and instead of seeing the Eagles offense, we're going to see the Hawks offense. It's going to be Drew Forkner getting ready in the shotgun snap to lead him off, the junior quarterback out of Plano, Texas. Has some pretty good numbers so far on the season. We'll get into that just a little bit, but out of a shotgun set, all of a sudden the Hawks on offense. 3 receivers split wide to the right. He's looking that way, and he gets it off. And breaking free, breaking a couple of tackles are the Hawks, getting into the 15-yard line. Boy, what a play early on here for St. Anselm. And with momentum on their side, looking to take advantage, into the red zone they go. Getting ready to run it back once again. It's Drew Forkner. Going quick here for the Hawks. Shotgun set, running back split wide to his right. That's Jake Croce. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 out to the right. Forkner takes the shotgun snap, gives it off to Croce. He has a hole towards his right side, looks to break a couple of tackles, and ultimately is brought down. Called a gain of 3 or 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6. Once again, St. Anselm getting ready. They're in the red zone. It's not a 2nd and goal situation just yet. It's going to be about 2nd and 6. Just inside the 15-yard line. Little pistol formation here. Snap. Forkner hands it off once again. Croce, he looks like he stumbles back behind the line of scrimmage. Going to be a tackle for loss there for the Eagles. That's Kevin White in there at the right end position, the sophomore out of Millville, New Jersey, making the TFL. It's going to be a big 3rd down here early in this game. St. Anselm with a surprise onside kick. A little squib onside kick to start off this game. Looking to snatch momentum early, but meanwhile the Eagles looking to get it right back, and they can get it with a big 3rd down stop here. Call it 3rd and 4 with just about 13 to go left in this first quarter. Forkner. Shotgun snap, has a little bit of trouble with it, fakes the handoff, looks to throw it to his flat, now decides to go long, and it's caught for the touchdown. Kyle Variest, and St. Anselm gets on the board first. It's 6-0 Hawks. For Variest, his 2nd touchdown of the season receiving-wise. That's how you get momentum on the road. They've struggled on the road, have the Hawks so far this season. This is an area they've somewhat struggled in, too, looking to kick the extra point. This is Guarnieri back out there again from uptown Massachusetts, looking to make it a 7-0 Hawks lead. And the kick is up, and it is good through. So all of a sudden, we thought we were going to see the Eagles on offense here. A little bit of trickery from Joe Adam and St. Anselm. They're going to be back on the kickoff team again, and you got to be ready for anything if you're post. Looking to keep the ball away from Israel Geraldo, typically a smart thing. We were excited to see him on the kickoff return, but St. Anselm takes advantage of the good field position, comes down and takes a 7-0 lead. So St. Anselm back out there. Let's see what post changes up here on their return squad. One of the most lethal return groups in the entire Northeast 10, in the entire just Division II football in general. They averaged 33.4 yards on the kick return. That's the best in the conference. Israel Geraldo, one of the best stars, young stars here in the Northeast 10. He's back to return it. Guarnieri ready to kick it. Kick is off. It's another little squibber. This time post looks like they're more than set for it, and the kick's going to go out of bounds. That's going to be a penalty and set post up with very good field position here at the 40-yard line. So it was St. Anselm getting good field position at the post 40 to kick off their drive. The Eagles at their own 40 here will kick off their offense. For the first time today, we will see Malachi Taylor. The 30-yard line, not the 40. So Malachi Taylor and the post offense looking to go 70 yards down the field. This is the Northeast 10's best rushing attack so far this year, led by Adonis White, the sophomore out of Newark, New Jersey. Right away, the shotgun snap, out of the pistol handoff, and there goes White. White with a couple of blockers out in front of him all the way down. Call it the 43-yard line, and right away you're seeing why this rushing attack is so good. This is a good St. Anselm Hawks rushing defense. But on the first play of the game, it's a first down for Post. Adonis White out of West Orange High School. Small but mighty, 5'7", 165 pounds. You wouldn't know it based off looking at him and based off seeing him run. Heavy set offensive line look here for the Eagles. Another handoff to White. This time he's looking towards his right. Almost gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and he finds a hole, breaks through once again, and gets dragged down by his toes. Called a gain of 9 or 10, depending on the spot. And it looks like it's going to be a gain of 9, so 2nd and 1 coming up for the Eagles, and we'll see if this is a good opportunity to take a shot if you're Post University and Malachi Taylor. You know, what comes up with the heaviest rushing attack in the conference is you don't get a whole lot of opportunities to pass it. We'll see if the Eagles decide to take a shot here or play it a little more safe. Out of the, looks like a pistol formation, and now Adonis White splits back wide. And they're going to hand it off to him again. He gets dragged down behind the line of scrimmage for St. Anselm. Looks like it was Matt Smith, the 5th-year senior out of Ayer, Massachusetts, getting the tackle for loss, and that brings up a big 3rd down for the Eagles. Called a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Just getting started here at Municipal Stadium. 11 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Big play coming up. Post trailing 7-0. Out of the shotgun snap. Looking to throw. It's Taylor. And splits it out wide, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough for the first down. I don't know if that's going to be enough for any yardage whatsoever. Now an interesting decision coming up for the Eagles here right about midfield. Did you call this 4-down territory? And it doesn't look like it. Adam Schultz electing to bring out the punting unit for Post University. So instead, on the Eagles' first drive, got a couple of first downs there, and the rushing attack got going, but they got stumped right at midfield. It's going to be Hayden Hall, the punter for Post University. Meanwhile, on the punt return, it's John Hosnick. Hall getting ready, and he kicks it away. Looks like it's a pretty good punt, end over end. Fair catch called for. Looks like a player might have been blocked into the returner. I don't see any flags out on the field, so St. Anselm will take over. Not the greatest field position in the world at their own 15-yard line. Maybe a bit of a better opportunity to showcase that Eagles defense. So on that first drive for St. Anselm, in which they scored 7 points, obviously. 31 passing yards on 2 passing plays. Only 5 rushing yards on that drive as well for Croce, which is one of the highlights of their offense. So we'll see if they can get their running game going as well, but already looking to add on to their 7-0 lead here on the road in Waterbury. This is Faulkner under center. 3 receivers split wide out to the left, and he hands it off. Croce gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage, it looks like. Called a gain of 1 or 2 possibly. It's going to bring up 2nd down. Called a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. It was Shakir Price coming in for the tackle. Cornerback 1 for Post University. See what St. Anselm draws up here. 2nd and 7. Called their own 19-yard line. Looks like a heavier set. Tight end closed in on the offensive line. Post looks like they're bringing pressure defensively. Now they decide to split it back out. Faulkner ready. Running back to his left. Takes the shotgun snap. Hands it off. This is Croce once again looking to break a tackle, and he gets dragged down. Boy, a good tackle in open field that time. Brings up 3rd down here for St. Anselm. 3rd and short. Got to imagine that they're just going to hand it off to Croce once again. Call it 3rd and 1 here in their own field position, in their own 29-yard line, we'll call it. believe it was Michael Gabetti who made that great open field tackle. One of the leaders here for the Hawks on defense, one of the best linebackers in the Northeast 10. So 3rd and 1, under center is Faulkner. I formation, decides to hand it off to the fullback. Post looks ready for it. Did he get enough? Pile up for it. Fans are clapping. Referee stands, and it looks like that's going to be enough to move the sticks. Called a first down for the Hawks. Stopped by Kevin White that time. A little inside fullback run for St. Anselm works out to perfection here. Under 10 minutes left in this first quarter. St. Anselm able to convert on their latest 3rd down attempt. I believe that makes them 2 for 2 so far today. Faulkner out of the pistol. Sends a man in motion. Fakes the handoff, looks towards his left. Going to fire it downfield and has a man wide open. That's going to be good enough for a first down for St. Anselm. That was Malachi Jones, the grad student out of Virginia Beach, making the reception, his first of the day. So 2 drives so far, 1.5 we'll call it for St. Anselm. They got a lot of facets of their game working early, especially Drew Faulkner and this passing offense, which was something we weren't really expecting heading in. Especially because Croce would be the headliner, you'd think, for St. Anselm, but they're set once again. Faulkner moves Croce to his left, 2 receivers out to his right, and hands off to Croce. Croce gets through the line of scrimmage and now breaking off to his right, looking to get dragged down, breaks another tackle, and finally gets brought down, but called a gain of 12 or 13, and once again another first down for St. Anselm. Boy, looked like a Jay Morrison was in there for Post University, and Croce just made him miss and then some. St. Anselm driving once again, looking to make an impression on this game early. Scoring-wise on the season for St. Anselm, they're only averaging 19.8 points per game so far this season. That's 6th best in the Northeast 10. Defensively, the Eagles, they're only giving up 21 points per game so far this season. That's the 2nd best in the 10, but hey, you wouldn't know it so far if you're watching this game early. Hawks in their base 3-4 defense here. Decides a handoff to Croce once again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They decide to give it to him. Call the gain of 2 or 3 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and manageable. So far on this drive, it's been 6 runs and 1 pass. So safe to say that they're headlined by the running game is St. Anselm. They had the passing game working early, maybe put Post on their heels a bit. Post with a good passing defense as well. Interesting to see if this play design continues, just led by Croce and Creed. Doesn't look to be in there right now. Instead, this is Anthony Almeida, the backup. Faulkner with Almeida behind him, all receivers out to his left, 3 of them. Looks to hand off to his left, and he gives it to Almeida, and Almeida doesn't quite break through the line of scrimmage. Call it the gain of 2. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5 for St. Anselm so far. So far today, the Hawks are 2 for 2 here on 3rd down. They passed it both times. Let's see if they decide to do it again. See what the Eagles do here defensively. Well, it doesn't look like they're going to run it as they have a spread-out offense. 3 receivers to Faulkner's right, 2 to his left. Eagles scrambling a bit on defense, but they look to be set. 4 men at the line of scrimmage with 1 other bringing pressure here out of the slot. Faulkner calling out a play adjustment here. Takes the shotgun snap, looking to pass, fires quickly right through the middle, and it's in and out of the hands. One of their receivers called that a drop pass, and it brings up 4th down, and now a tough decision for St. Anselm. And it looks like St. Anselm is going to decide to punt it here. was Meade, by the way, the receiver who had it in and out of his hands earlier. So Israel Geraldo back to punt for the Eagles. Meanwhile, it's Thomas Murray out there, the punter for the Hawks. 7-0 St. Anselm. Eagles get their first stop of the day defensively. It looked like a good drive for St. Anselm going, but Post stands strong on third down. Now looking to get the ball back once again. Murray taking his time, finally takes the snap, and the snap goes all the way back there to the 25-yard line. Now Murray has trouble with it, going to pick it up and just take it himself, try to get what he can. Ended up throwing the ball forward a little bit at the end there as well, and what a turnaround here. It felt like all the momentum was on St. Anselm's side, but the Eagles get a little bit of momentum back. A bad snap on the punt attempt there, and the Eagles will take over at the opponent's, call it the 26-yard line. Here on a beautiful day in Waterbury, Connecticut, the Eagles look to take advantage of a St. Anselm mistake now. Long snapper James Mullen out of Weymouth, Massachusetts. There for St. Anselm with the snap just over the head of their punter. Looks like it might be Tyler Pumachan out there. For Post University. And it is. So Pumachan, backup quarterback in there. Out of Stratford, Connecticut, transferred over from UConn. Takes the shotgun snap and hands it off. This is White trying to make one man miss, two men miss, and now eventually the whole Hawks defense piles up on him. Don't know if he got anything there going. It's going to bring up second down and long for the Eagles. Seen a good amount of Tyler Pumachan so far this year. Wouldn't quite call it an even split between Pumachan and Taylor, and you usually see Pumachan more so in the red zone opportunities. Wouldn't quite call it the red zone yet, but the Eagles knocking on the door here. One of the league leaders in rushing yards, rushing touchdowns actually is the Eagles quarterback in there right now. Looks around to pass, scrambling around, ends up throwing it downfield, and that gets intercepted by St. Anselm. Going the other way with it, it's Dev Lee, and St. Anselm snatches that momentum right back. Boy, ball changing possession left and right early on, and this time it's Pumachan throwing the interception. For Tyler Pumachan, that's his first his first interception of the year. It's only the second interception thrown by Post as a team this year. Meanwhile, defensively for St. Anselm, that would be the fifth interception, moves him up into the top three in the conference in that category. And Dev Lee continuing to have just a fantastic season. So now St. Anselm with the ball. Faulkner takes it out of the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, looks to throw deep downfield, under pressure, looks to get dragged down, and he does. Called a sack for Post University. That looked to be Kevin White on the play, picking up yet another TFL, and his first sack here of the game, first sack on either side. That's going to make it second and long for St. Anselm. For Devin Lee, by the way, his first interception of the season. So called second and 11 technically after the sack there. Only a 1-yard loss, so not a bad job by Faulkner. After the turnover here, Eagles defense looking to stand strong. Faulkner looks ready. From the shotgun snap, takes it, looks towards his left and throws it immediately. A quick pass out. Once again, it's Meade. And they're going to call it an incomplete pass. Looked like Meade had possession of it for his second. But yet again, in and out of his hands. He got hit hard that time. Incomplete. Call it third and long. So the Post defense trying to force a 3-and-out for the first time today. Boy, the Eagles offense so far targeting Meade. Believe that's his third target of the day. Only one reception so far for 16 yards. See what St. Anselm can draw up here on 3rd and long. Call it 3rd and 14. It goes spread 3 wide to the right, or 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right of Faulkner. Croce, the running back, in there. Eagles single high safety look. Faulkner takes the snap, looking to pass. Under some pressure and decides to just spike it down low. Right towards, looked like it might have been a screenplay getting drawn up for Croce, but it never fully developed there for St. Anselm. And instead, it's going to be a 3 and out. The first one forced today for Post, and the Eagles will take over. Boy, so the first punt attempt of the day did not go the best for St. Anselm. Earlier in this first quarter, it was a long snap attempt that just went over the head of the punter, Thomas Murray. So we'll see if this one can be a little bit cleaner here. It's Israel Geraldo back to return for Post. Well, if you're St. Anselm, you really never want to kick the ball in his direction. One of D2's best returners on both punts and kicks. Murray takes the snap, cleaner this time, and gets the kick away. It's a pretty good one. Backs up Geraldo all the way to his 30-yard line. Now he has the ball in his hands, and he has a seam. Goes up the right sideline, and he gets it all the way down to the 40, to the 35, down to the 30. Makes a man miss down to the sideline, and he goes out of bounds at the St. Anselm 25-yard line, we'll call it. And another great return for the Northeast 10's best return man so far this season. Great field position for the Eagles. Down at the 27 officially. So after the interception throw from Tyler Pumachan on the last drive for Post University, it's Malachi Taylor back in there, the senior out of New York, New York. Capital Prep Harlem High School. See if the Eagles offense can get some points here with good field position. It looked like Taylor had trouble with the snap, and he eventually did get to hand it off for a minimal gain that time. Boy, I wasn't sure if he still had the ball in his hands or not. But nice concentration from the veteran that time just to get the ball in the hands of his running back. And that was Edward Bandy on the carry, called a gain of 4 or 5. Eagles offense yet to get going so far today. See what they draw up, trying to get this game a little bit closer. Out of the pistol, Taylor hands it off once again. This is Bandy once again, and that time he found a seam. Looked to be good enough for a first down. Eagles knocking on the door in the red zone. Not quite good enough for a first and goal. Call it the 18-yard line. This is when we tend to see more Tyler Pumachan in there at quarterback for Post. See what they decide to do here. It looks like they're keeping Taylor in there. Looks like maybe a wishbone formation here for the Eagles. At the very least, 2 running backs in there, Bandy and White for Post University. Taylor fakes the handoff, looking to pass, throws it towards the end zone, up the middle, and it is caught for a touchdown, Eagles! DJ Lisbon, I believe, gets the touchdown call that time. What a catch, what a throw by Malachi Taylor, finding him on the seam route, just going up into the end zone. Looked like Lisbon was able to keep a foot in right at the back of the end zone. And now Post University just 1 extra point away from tying this game. For DJ Lisbon, his first touchdown of the season receiving-wise. Sophomore out of Westbury, New York. Now the Eagles getting ready to kick the extra point here. Out there to kick. It's Nathan Hawkins. Excuse me now. Looks like this is Tyler. Oh, we had a little bit of a stoppage there, and everyone's just kind of standing around. Don't know. They might be reviewing this one, and actually, I believe they are. Yeah, they're going to take a look at this touchdown opportunity once again over in the end zone, or behind the end zone, I should say. Want to make sure that DJ Lisbon got his foot down, so we're going to take another look at it, take a quick break here, and let you know as you're watching Post University football. You might be able to hear it by the crowd reaction here at Municipal Stadium, but after taking a look at it, the ruling on the field was confirmed. DJ Lisbon did get a foot in bounds, so the touchdown is good. The Eagles just an extra point away from tying it up. First touchdown of the season for DJ Lisbon. Now it looks like Nathan Hawkins in there to kick the extra point for Post University. Extra point-wise, Hawkins 12 for 16 so far this year. It's the most extra points made. It's the most attempts by a long shot, but not the best percentage. Looks like Pumachan to hold it. And the kick is up, and it is true as it gets. So Post University ties this ball game up at 7 apiece. Looks like there's some chatting going on between the Eagles and the Hawks as they both head back to their respective sidelines. We'll see the Eagles kick it off for the first time today. So after the surprise onside kick early in this game from St. Anselm College, they were able to get on the board first, a touchdown to follow it up, and a couple of turnovers on each side, or a couple of turnovers on downs and then a turnover on the Eagles. But finally, Post is able to tie it back up. That touchdown to DJ Lisbon makes it 7-7. Now St. Anselm will get the ball back. Just about 5 seconds left here in the first quarter. Kicking it off for the Eagles, it'll be Nathan Hawkins back to return it. For the Hawks, it's Jack Cohn. Cohn on the right. It's actually Cohn and Jones. They have a 2-return set. We'll see if Hawkins decides to go with some little trickery just to match the Hawks, although I doubt it. Eagles look ready. Hawkins is ready. The kick is up, and it is underway. Good kick, end over end. Back to return it. This is Jack Cohn. Cohn with a couple of blockers out in front of him. Breaks towards his right, makes one man miss. And the Eagles end up to gang tackle him down just past the 25-yard line, right around the 26 or the 27. So decent field position here to kick off the second quarter for St. Anselm as we'll be back. It's a tie ball game, 7-7 in the Battle of the Birds. St. Anselm back out there looking to answer back the Post University touchdown. It was the Hawks getting momentum first in this game, a little bit of trickery, but all of a sudden it's back even as we start this second quarter. Immediately the handoff to Croce, and Croce finds a little bit of room, gets through the line of scrimmage, gets into the secondary, and gets dragged down at the 44-yard line. Good gain there for St. Anselm, called, I believe, 20 yards almost to midfield. There's that star running back, Jake Croce, the sophomore out of Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Now playing college ball up in New Hampshire with St. Anselm. They've been giving it to him early and often, and so far it's been working. Most of these drives for the Hawks, they've gotten the ball down the field. They've just gotten stopped, mostly in post territory. Let's see if that continues to be the case here. Two receivers out to his left. Faulkner from the shotgun. Well, Eagles look like they're bringing pressure here, and they do bring some pressure off the edge. An option play, handing it off to Croce, and Croce refusing to go down. Eventually has to get gang tackled, and the ball gets loose. See what the referee signal. Both teams signaling that they have it. Trying to break up the pile here. Croce put the ball on the ground. The anticipation continues to build. No signal as of yet. And it's going to be recovered by St. Anselm. Boy, take a deep exhale there if you're a Hawks fan. But, oh boy, looks like Croce might be down on the field. Not sure if he's just down or if he's under the pile. Now he's getting helped back up, and my bad, looks like he was just under the pile there. Is getting up a bit gingerly and now goes back to the sideline. So he puts the ball on the ground, but ultimately no harm, no foul there for St. Anselm. It's going to be second down here. Called about 7 yards after, or called about 8 yards after the gain of 2. See if Croce remains out of this game for very long for St. Anselm. Right now it's Anthony Almeida in there, the junior out of North Arlington. Went to DePaul Catholic High School. Faulkner getting ready. 2 running backs, 1 tailback, 1 fullback, and he hands it off. This is Almeida breaking to his left, trying to break a tackle, and gets dragged down right at the 49-yard line of Post University. Into enemy territory go the Hawks. I believe it's going to bring up third down and short after the nice run there. Called a gain of 7 that time for Almeida. And looks like Faulkner's going to take a step out of this game. This is Ronan Noki coming in at quarterback here, the senior out of Burlington, Massachusetts. See what they draw up here. The backup quarterback, you'd assume maybe a bit more of a running play, but we'll see what the Hawks decide. I've given Noki some time so far this season. Again, a fullback and a halfback in there. 2 receivers out to Noki's right. And it looks like a flag is going to be called here. That's going to be a false start. That's on James Mullen. Sophomore right guard for St. Anselm, and that makes the job a good amount harder here. Noki gets off the field. Looks like Faulkner's coming back on. Maybe more of a passing play getting drawn up as it moves from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7. First penalty of the game on either offense or defense. We did see a special teams penalty earlier. So call it 3rd and 7 here. Post looking for another stop defensively. It was a first drive touchdown for St. Anselm and then nothing since. Faulkner back, takes the snap, looking to throw. Doesn't have anyone, now scrambling around, and he's going to scramble, looking for the first down, slides down, a late hit in there from the Eagles. I'm looking for a penalty. Faulkner looks to be hurt on the play. I don't believe a flag ever got called. And it's going to be 4th down and short here for St. Anselm. Boy, looked like a late hit that time by Brandon McLaughlin. And yet again, another midfield decision coming up for the Hawks. Faulkner going to limp his way over to the sideline. It looks like Noki's going to come in the game, and the Hawks are going to go for it here on 4th down. Called 4th and 2, I believe, technically. 2 running back set. Eagles look like they're bringing pressure. And it's going to be a quarterback scramble. Noki gets enough for the first down. Move the sticks for St. Anselm, a big 4th down conversion. As the Hawks and Joe Adam have been rolling the dice a few times early here, of course, with the onside kick earlier, and now with that 4th down conversion, the first try of the day. And Ronan Noki converts it for St. Anselm. So let's see what they draw up here. 1st and 10, and call it the Post University 46-yard line. Been a long drive so far for St. Anselm. Another shotgun snap, but this time the whistle gets blown beforehand, and it's going to be a timeout, actually, called by St. Anselm. So first one of the game, 30-second timeout. Take a quick break and be right back here on Post University Football. Back out on the field are the St. Anselm Hawks. That was actually their second time out. The earlier was used when they challenged the touchdown call on DJ Lisbon, and Lisbon had his foot in there. So here in the second quarter, just over 10 minutes left to go. From what I can see, it does look like Noki is still in there at quarterback for St. Anselm. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of the Eagles. Noki hands it off to Croce. And wow, Croce drives the pile forward an extra 2 or 3 yards down to the Eagles' 44. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd and 7. Boy, Croce came up a little bit gingerly on the previous drive for St. Anselm. So good to see him back in the game. But once again, looks like the Hawks are without their starting quarterback, Drew Faulkner, for at least a period of time as Ronan Noak takes over. Eagles fans making some noise here. Called 2nd and 7, just over 9 minutes left to go. But once again, the Hawks in enemy territory. Eagles 47-yard line. Noki out of the shotgun set. Takes the snap, hands it off once again. Croce breaking towards his right, trying to drive the pile forward, but going nowhere. I don't think he got any that time, and it's going to remain 7 yards to gain, but this time a 3rd down for St. Anselm. So 3rd and 7 officially for St. Anselm. They've handed the ball off a lot, and it looks like Drew Faulkner is back in there for the Hawks. So good news if you're a St. Anselm fan. Starting quarterback seems to be okay. He's got 2 receivers out to his left, 1 towards his right. The Eagles with a little shiftiness here on defense. Pressure looks like it's coming from Faulkner's left. Takes the shotgun snap, looking to throw here on 3rd down, fires it downfield. The receiver slipped again. That was Domingo Meade once again, his 4th target of the day. He's 1 for 4 on those completions, and 3 of them went right through his hands. They've been targeting him. Faulkner likes what he sees so far out of Meade's routes, but it just hasn't worked out for St. Anselm. And here on 3rd and long, they look to punt. Look to pin the Eagles back deep. Do the Hawks. Of course, back to return, Israel Geraldo. Thomas Murray, once again the punter. And the snap once again goes over Murray's head. It goes all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Murray looking to punt it still, and he does get it away just barely. Eagles smartly letting it go, and that actually ends up being a not bad punt. Goes out of bounds. Call it the 24-yard line. Boy, it's a roller coaster of emotions for St. Anselm early, especially on special teams. And Thomas Murray with a pretty nice play there to recover the long snap and ends up getting the kickoff. So let's see what the Eagles can draw up here on offense as they take over on what would normally just be a touchback. I believe it's the 26 or the 25-yard line. 7 minutes left to go. Don't have to move quickly down the field yet if you're post, but you'd like to score quicker, maybe give yourself another opportunity if you can. Looks like it's a little jet screen action for Post University. Quick handoff behind the line of scrimmage, and still going is Geraldo. Breaking tackles, he stiff arms the man, he gets brought down. Call it the Post 36-yard lines, but what a play from their star receiver, and a flag comes in late. Israel Geraldo. Already saw a great return from the young man, freshman out of Providence, Rhode Island. Now the referees are discussing here. Let's see what the penalty is. Looks like it's going to be a gain about 8 or 9 on the play. Of course, everything depends on what the penalty ends up being. And there ends up being no foul on the play for a horse collar tackle, so the referees decide to pick it up. And we'll just play on as normal. Actually, looks like it's going to be a gain for a 1st down. So Israel Geraldo and the jet screen action working well that time. It's Tyler Pumachon in at quarterback. It was Pumachon who handed it off to Geraldo on the last play as well. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. at their own 38-yard line. A little bit of a high snap, handled nicely from Pumachan, takes it himself and now finds a bit of a lane, ends up with an awkward slide down the field, and he got crushed right at the 45-yard line. Gets back to his feet well, called second and short for the Eagles. Second and 3 officially here. Eagles starting a bit of a drive, a couple of plays. Already about 21 yards up the field. From their own 45, Pumachan once again sends a man in motion, fakes the jet screen, gives it off to the tailback. Called a nice little gain there on second down. Might be enough for the first down. It's going to be close. That was Adonis White in there on the carry. And it's going to be a no-huddle quick play here on third and short for the Eagles. Pumachan takes the snap, gives it off to his tailback once again, White, and it looks like he gets stuffed. The body falls forward. Let's see what the official spot is by the referees, and he's going to end up being short, actually losing about a half a yard that time, was Adonis White, and it brings up fourth and short here from their own 47-yard line. Doesn't look like the punt unit is coming onto the field for Post University. Looks like Tyler Pumachan and this Post University offense is going to stay on the field. Go for it here. Call it 4th and 1 in their own territory. Pistol formation. Pumachan takes the snap, gives it off to his tailback, keeps it, and does he get enough? Boy, I don't believe he did. He ends up getting stopped short, and that's going to be a turnover on downs as St. Anselm takes over in enemy territory. Second turnover of the game, first turnover on downs for the Eagles. And boy, these two teams trading blows defensively here. Both teams going for it right around midfield, both teams getting stopped. Well, should say that wasn't really going for it. It was the muffed punt a couple of times, I should say. But either way, Faulkner back out there for St. Anselm. Faulkner so far in this game, 3 for 7, 46 yards, and a touchdown. Brings Croce out to his left, getting ready and out of the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off to Croce, breaks a tackle or almost breaks a tackle, but ends up getting toe dragged down right at the line of scrimmage. Looks like Amir Johnson was the man with the tackle that time around. Grad student out of Neptune, New Jersey. One of the leaders on this post defense and might be relied upon just a little bit more. It looks like Amar Tillman, another leader on this post defense, is out in this game. For Amir Johnson, that really is nothing new. One of the NE10's best in tackles for locks and sacks. Actually, the league leader in sacks. Now Faulkner. And a spread offense look. Out of the shotgun, takes the snap, looking to throw. Got some pressure on his blind side here. He evades it to his right and just throws it away smartly out of bounds. Looked like there was a receiver in the area, so no intentional grounding to be called. It's going to be 3rd and long here for St. Anselm, an area which at first they started very well but have since struggled in. They started this game 2 for 2 on third down. Since then, they're 2 for 6. Or not since then, but now in total of the game, they're 2 for 6. See if the Eagles, who are on a four-try stop conversion streak here, so to speak. Call it 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 from the Post University 46-yard line. Faulkner takes the shotgun snap, looking to throw. Down the field, he's got a man, but he overthrows him. Misses up and above their wide receiver, grad student Malachi Jones. It's going to bring up 4th and 10, and you got to imagine that they're going to send out the punt unit here. We've seen a good amount of 4th down tries so far in this game. 2 for St. Anselm, 1 for Post University, but in 4th and 10, after the Eagles' defense has looked stronger and stronger as this game has come along, I think it's the smart decision here. I always want to try to keep the ball away from Geraldo. We'll see if they do that this time. Punt is away. It's a short one, and it lands right at, I believe, the 14-yard line. We'll see where the official spot gets put. call it the 12-yard line. So a really good punt that time from Thomas Murray pins the Eagles back, and they'll have to drive down the field about 88 yards. So the Eagles offense back out there yet again. Gotten 4 first downs so far in this game. Only 19 passing yards, but that's opposed to 48 rushing yards. I'm sure you'd like those numbers to increase a little bit if you're an Eagles fan or on the Eagles coaching staff. So we'll see if Malachi Jones and the Eagles offense is back out there. Excuse me, Malachi Taylor. And the Eagles offense is back out there. Can do anything with it. Again, 12-yard line, not the most time in the world, 4:12, so 4-minute offense for Post University. Taylor in there, looks like Adonis White, the back behind him. He does give it up, that's Edward Bandy, I should say, and Bandy splits out to his right. Gains a couple. Short gain on the first down attempt, and I believe it's going to be 2nd and 8 for the Eagles. For the Eagles offensively, rushing-wise, it's mostly been the man you'd expect, Adonis White, but only 26 yards for him through just about this first half. Bandy's gotten a few as well. This is Taylor in there at quarterback out of the shotgun. Running back behind him, it's Bandy once again. They fake the screen, give it to Bandy, and Bandy yet again stopped pretty short. Don't know if he gained any that time, maybe a foot. It's going to be 3rd and 8 for Post University. Boy, coming into this game, St. Anselm defensively holding opponents to only 300 yards a game. That's the best in the Northeast 10. And holding opponents to only 120 rush yards a game. It's the 2nd best in the Northeast 10. So it's no surprise here that Houston the Eagles offense struggles somewhat after being the highest ranked offense through 3 games so far this season. Third and 8 here. Eagles backed up in their own territory. Spread offense. Malachi Taylor looks ready to throw with no running back in there. Taylor takes the shotgun snap protection, breaks down a little bit. Taylor evades it, and he tries to reach his tight end, but he doesn't get it to Jaquan Bromell. Maybe a bit of an overshoot on the throw on the run. It's going to bring up 4th down and 8 from their own territory, and the Eagles going to bring out the punt team. So you're looking to see a bit of that 4-minute offense for Post University, but instead they go 3 and out. Couple of runs to Bandy and 1 pass try. Now punting it away for the Eagles. This will be Hayden Hall. Meanwhile, back to return, it's John Hosney. Hall with 1 foot in his own end zone. Looks like St. Anselm's going to try to block the punt and bring a good amount of pressure here. See how they do it. Eagles get the punt away just barely. It ends up being another very good kick. Hosney back, fields it right around the 40, finds a bit of a seam, finds more room, gets it up to the 50, breaks a tackle to the 45 and gets dragged down, called right around the 43-yard line. So there's an Eagle a bit slow to get up. He's helped out to his feet again. I believe that's Jaquan Bromell for Post University, but either way, St. Anselm takes over, and once again in Eagle territory. Boy, the field position battle, at least in this first half, has gone the Hawks' way. Fans getting a bit restless here in Waterbury, trying to cheer on their Eagles. 2:51 left to go in this first half. Faulkner back in there at quarterback. 3 for 9 today, 46 yards, 1 touchdown. He's been sacked 1 time. Rushing-wise for Croce, 11 attempts, 52 yards. It's 4.7 yards per carry. They give it to Croce, gets right around the line of scrimmage, and eventually gets dragged down. Boy, that's the big defensive tackle there, Jordan Reamer. 6 foot even, 380 pounds. That's what he's in there for, run stop, and did it that time. Called 2nd and long for St. Anselm. Eagles run a 3-4 offense, throw a lot of nickel and dime sets out, or 3-4 defense, throw a little nickel and dime sets out there as well. Usually those 3-4 defenses can somewhat struggle stopping the run, but hasn't really been the case for Post so far this year. Jordan Reamer has a big part to play in that. Just over 2 minutes left. One more play before the 2-minute warning. Called a play-action pass. Faulkner completes it towards the right sideline. Getting it down, it's Malachi Jones. And that's going to bring us to the 2-minute timeout. Officially call it 1:53 left to go in this first half. It's St. Anselm driving down the field, but the two teams tied 7-7 in the Battle of the Birds. Under 2 minutes left to go here in this first half in Waterbury, Connecticut, 7-7. And this Northeast 10 battle between the Eagles and the Hawks. That was the Hawks getting on the board first on their first drive of the game. Nothing since then offensively for Drew Faulkner and crew. Got three receivers split out to his left here. Running back in there, that's Anthony Almeida. And the Eagles look like they're bringing pressure defensively. They do. Fake the handoff, looking to throw his Faulkner, fires it deep down the field, and he completes it. It's Jones in there for a touchdown. What a throw by Drew Faulkner. Dialing up a play-action pass right out of the 2-minute timeout. And Malachi Jones just cruises into the end zone to make it 13-7 Hawks. For Jones, it's his first touchdown today, his second touchdown of the season. No review needed this time around. The extra point is up. It is no good. Looks like it went wide to the right, although a bit hard to see from here. And as mentioned earlier, it's an area that St. Anselm has somewhat struggled in so far this year, and maybe Post can catch a bit of a break that time. Michael Guarnieri misses that one. So it's 13-7. St. Anselm out in front, and we'll see how this post 2-minute offense can fare. We know that running the ball is the strong suit of the Eagles. Not just the best rushing attack in the Northeast 10, but one of the best rushing attacks in all of Division II so far this year. We'll see how this passing attack can fare. You got to assume that the Eagles are going to try to throw the ball at least more than a few times. All three timeouts, 1:50 left to go. Of course, a lot depends on the return here. We've seen a couple of squib kicks so far from the place kicker of St. Anselm, that being Michael Guarnieri. And so I believe Michael Guarnieri just might have some trouble kicking it, according to some of the people, at least in the booth here. We'll see if they continue to do that little squib kick strategy. Sorry about that. We had a fan trying to start some chatter here in the press box. Got a little distracted. It's a good crowd here at Municipal Stadium. Almost a sold-out crowd. And here is that little squig trip onside kick try. There's a pileup over at midfield. I'm not sure. The ball seemed to still be loose. Looked like the Eagles had their few chances of it. Another onside, we'll call it onside kick attempt. St. Anselm is signaling that they have it. Nothing from the referees yet. And it's going to be the Hawks' ball. Boy, we were just thinking that the Eagles would get the 2-minute offense going once again, but instead, it's going to be St. Anselm trying to go up by 2 scores. Boy, another mistake here from Post University. You know, fool me once, shame on you, but you can see some of the Eagles frustrated on the sideline here. It looked like 2 Eagles collided with each other as they were both trying to dive on top of it. So Drew Faulkner back out on the field for St. Anselm with a 6-point lead to work with and under 2 minutes to go. 150, one timeout for the Hawks. Two receivers to the left, two receivers to his right, right at the 50-yard line, dead even. Looks like Faulkner's going to change the play at the line of scrimmage, at least call an audible of some sort. Takes the snap out of the shotgun, looks to throw, protection holds up, fires to his left and finds a man down the field. It's Kyle Veriest. Already has a touchdown catch to his name today. A good completion there, moves them into enemy territory down at the post 36-yard line. Call it 1st and 10, St. Anselm trying to take advantage of a couple of special teams mistakes, rare special teams mistakes for Post University so far this season. Faulkner once again out of the shotgun, looking to throw into the flat, down to his left, and has a man. Medium pass game that time around. Looked like it was Nick Nelson on the completion there. Shakir Price on the stop for the Eagles. And now in the no-huddle offense, looking to move quickly is St. Anselm. Faulkner, protection holds up, finds a man once again. It's Veriest once again. Boy, what a game Kyle Veriest is having, the junior out of Manasquan, New Jersey. I believe that was his his third reception of the game. Already has 31 yards on the day. I believe St. Anselm going to use their one timeout here. So called a 3rd and 5 for St. Anselm coming up, but they used their last timeout here of this first half. Just about 56 seconds to go, and St. Anselm trying to build on the 13-6 lead. Big opportunity here for the Eagles. Trying to get a stop. It's going to be 3rd and 3. From the Post University, call it the 35-yard line. Excuse me, the 30-yard line, I should say. Faulkner with two receivers to his right, three to his left. No tailback in there. See what the Eagles do defensively. Out of the shotgun, looking to throw. Has a man right up the middle, and it looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. It's O'Hara once again. And it is going to be good enough to move the sticks for St. Anselm. Call it 1st and 10 as they continue to move the ball down the field. Faulkner getting ready. Quick play. Shotgun snap. Looking to throw. Looking towards the end zone instead. Goes short to the check down. And St. Anselm just going to smartly go out of bounds. That's Malachi Jones once again on the reception. Boy, those top three receivers for St. Anselm are getting a lot of action here in this first half. Veriest, Jones. I've also seen Domingo Meade in there a lot. Ball placed at the 15-yard line in the red zone is St. Anselm. 2nd and 5, we'll call it. Faulkner ready, takes the snap. Eagles, no pressure as of yet. Finally, they get him off the right edge. Faulkner evades it and then just throws it out of bounds smartly. Did have a receiver in the area, so once again, no intentional grounding. Also might have been out of the pocket a little bit. Brings up yet another 3rd down opportunity for Post University defensively. So far on 3rd down today, the Hawks, they're 3 for 8. Also 1 for 2 on 4th down attempts. 27 seconds here, no timeouts left, so you got to assume that it's going to be a try towards the end zone or an incomplete pass here for St. Anselm. You cannot take a sack. You don't want to rush the field goal unit onto the field if they even want to try a field goal. Struggled in the kicking department this year. They take the short pass, enough for a first down, it looks like. Going to be 1st and goal, and they do get to stop the clock temporarily until the ball is placed. And they do get it back going. They do spike it down there at the 10-yard line. So Hey, worked out to perfection that time for St. Anselm. The quick completion. Let's see what they decide to do here. We know the kicking game has had its ups and downs, to say the least, for the Hawks. Looks like they're keeping the offense back out there, at least for one more play. But it looks like Faulkner's over by the sideline. And they're going to reset the game clock to 21 seconds for St. Anselm. So adding some time left on the clock here for sure. Now Faulkner gets back into the huddle, ready to go. Going to be second and goal for St. A's here. And now with 21 seconds on the clock, you got to assume that they'll have 2 tries here at the end zone, maybe 3 if they want to take it. Croce is in there to Faulkner's left, but I'd be very surprised if they decide to hand it to him. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Faulkner takes the shotgun snap, looking to throw. Going towards the end zone, has a man. It is caught, and he is in there for a touchdown. Malachi Jones finding the end zone yet again, gets his foot down in bounds, and St. Anselm takes a 2-score lead. For Malachi Jones, his second touchdown here in this first half. 3rd touchdown throwing for Faulkner in this first half. And it looks like the Eagles are going to take a timeout here in between touchdown and extra point try, if St. Anselm decides to use the extra point, that is. So we'll take a quick 30-second timeout and be back with you as St. A's takes a 19-7 lead. So it does look like St. A's is going to decide to go for 2 here. It's Ronan Noak in there. Under center for St. Anselm. And now they decide to shift up their entire offensive formation as he moves back into the shotgun. Post adjust defensively. They send another man in motion in Veriest. Now Roki takes the snap. Driving over there, and it gets picked off. Going the other way with it for Post University was Shakir Price with an interception for the Eagles. On the 2-point attempt, nothing really to come from it, as Price would have had to gone pretty much 99 yards down the field to the other end zone to see some benefit there, but instead stays at a 19-7 game in favor of St. A's. But what has been a testy subject so far today for Post University in kickoff returns, they'll get another opportunity here. So there was a 15-yard penalty assessed on the kickoff to Post University. So it makes what has been a hard job even just a little bit harder. So 19-7, St. A's leads this one. It's Malachi Jones with a tremendous first half. 5 receptions, 76 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Here in this first half, got a whole other half of football to play. Meanwhile, Drew Faulkner, another great game for him as well. 12 for 19 through the air, 138 yards, 3 touchdowns. No interceptions. That's a QBR of 176.3. Some tremendous numbers for the veteran quarterback for St. A's. And he's led them to a 19-7 lead here. A bit of an awkward score. And kickoff coming from the 50-yard line here for St. A's. They've already done this squib onside combination that's worked out to 2 recoveries for them so far today. We'll see if they decide to do it once again. It's Guarnieri in there. He does kick it off short. Eagles handle it a little bit better this time. I believe that's Bandy on the return. He does break 1 tackle, brings it up to right around the 31, 32-yard line. With just about 13 seconds left to go here in this first half, we'll see if the Eagles decide to play it safe or maybe try to get back a quick point here. Do have all three of their timeouts, so we could see them try to throw the ball a little bit, but hasn't been the best offensive game so far as the St. A's defense has really stood out so far. One fumble loss so far for Post University in this game. Of course, the interception as well thrown earlier, so they do decide just to play it a little bit safe and hand it off. Adonis White on the carry. Looked like he might have gotten a yard. No gain officially. And that's going to do it here in the first half. What a first half for St. A's, especially defensively. They take a 19-7 lead into the halftime locker room. Malachi Jones, star receiver with 2 touchdowns to his name, and the quarterback, of course, for St. Anselm, Drew Faulkner, 3 touchdowns here in this first half. We'll see how the Eagles can respond. Don't go anywhere, as we'll be back in 20 minutes as you're watching Post University football. Welcome back into Waterbury, Connecticut, Municipal Stadium as we're just about ready to kick off the second half between the St. Anselm College Hawks and your Post-University Eagles. It's a 19-7 St. A's lead over the Eagles, and they've done it with just a good overall offensive attack, especially in the passing games. 138 passing yards for St. A's as opposed to just 19 for Post-University. Meanwhile, in the rushing attack, the Eagles with 50 rushing yards, only 37 for St. A's so far, but they haven't really needed it. The Eagles do have the lowest ranked passing defense by yardage in the NE10, and St. A's has taken advantage and then some today. They'll start this second half here on offense, at least we think so, but you never know with these kickoffs that we've seen today. The kick is end over end. It goes all the way back into, or almost into the end zone. Malachi Jones back to return it, and a hard tackle down over at the 20-yard line. The Eagles are signaling that they have the football, and they do. It's a fumble recovered by Post University, and that's a way to kick off the second half. Boy, when we got the first half underway, it was St. A's recovering an onside kick. Here to start this second half, it's the Eagles forcing the fumble on the return and recovering it themselves to get great field position and to get the ball. Call it 1st and 10 for Post University at the opposite 21-yard line, just outside of the red zone. It looks like it's going to be Tyler Pumachan in there for Post. Two receivers to his left, man in motion, that's Geraldo. They do the jet sweep motion to him again, and Israel Geraldo breaks out to his left, gets past the line of scrimmage, and gets forced out of bounds past the 15-yard line, maybe at the 12-yard line. Might be good enough for a first down. Excuse me, actually, I misread that one. Called 2nd and 5. So Malachi Jones with the fumble. Earlier in this game, gave Post this good field position. Now Pumachan, screenplay out to his left, just got it over the hand of a leaping lineman. And caught and brought down right before the first down yardage. Going to be 3rd down and short for the Eagles. Looking to see a number on the receiver. A little bit of chippiness after the play between the O-line and the D-line. That was DJ Lisbon on the screen catch there for Post. So the Eagles with a clear goal here to try to get some of the passing game going. A little screenplay that time, maybe just get an easy pass completion for Pumachan. Now they look like they have 2 running backs coming into this game. It's Bandy. And of course Adonis White as well. Eagles getting their calls from the sideline. Call it 3rd and 2 here. 2 running backs in the game. Pumachan takes the snap, looking to throw here. Scrambles out towards his right. Still looking for a man down the field. Fires into the end zone, in and out of the hands of a receiver, or out of the defender, and incomplete. Looked like Pumachan was trying to throw it away, and it looked like Caleb Lewis, one of the free safeties for St. Anselm, had it in his hands, but referees say that he was out of bounds when he caught it. Another defender had it go through his hands. And Post might catch a little bit of a break here. It's going to be a field goal attempt instead. So despite the forced fumble on the kick, or no field goal. No, field goal attempt. I was right in the first place. Nathan Hawkins to kick it. Try to give Post 3 points. Trying to make it a 9-point game. Pumachan the holder. The snap is good. The hold looks good. The kick. End over end, and it is through. So add 3 points to the Post total. Make it a 19-10 St. Anselm lead. And so Post gets a little bit of momentum here to kick off this second half. The fumble by Malachi Jones recovered by the Eagles. And although the Eagles couldn't turn it into 7, they turn it into 3. Maybe St. A's take that as some momentum of their own. See how the Eagles kickoff crew can do once again after a 30-second timeout here on Post University Football. So Hawkins back in the game, getting ready to kick things off after the Eagles convert the field goal attempt, make it a 9-point game. Not quite one score, but almost. Remember last time it was Jones back to field it. He's one of the two men back there for St. Anselm. And the kick is up, and it is end over end. Drives the returner back and actually goes into the end zone for a touchback. Ball will come out to the 25-yard line for St. Anselm, and that's where they will get started. First try of the second half here for Drew Faulkner and crew. What a first half. Faulkner himself was having 138 passing yards on a 63.2% completion percentage. That's 12 for 19. Not to mention that's a 176.3 QB rating. Very, very good to say the least. So we'll see if they continue to put the ball in Faulkner's hands, if they try to rely on that running game a little more with a 9-point lead. Crowd making some noise here at Municipal Stadium. Faulkner out of the shotgun set, 3 receivers to his left. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, a little screen pass to Jaden Haynes, a man who we haven't said his name too many times over in the first half. In fact, that's going to be the first reception on the day for Jaden Haynes. My numbers are correct. The senior out of Red Bank Catholic. Short gain that time, maybe a gain of 4. Called 2nd and 6 for St. Anselm. So 2nd and medium here for St. A's. Offensive line just getting set, but it looks like Faulkner has been set for quite a while behind that. Now the shotgun snap, hands it off to his right. This is Almeida. Almeida looking to push the pile forward, but he gets stood up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and it brings up 3rd and medium. So far in this game, a little under 50% for St. Anselm. They're 4 for 9 on 3rd down today. Remember, they started this game 2 for 2, and they've been streaky ever since then. Opened up the game well, opened up the half well, closed the half well in terms of 3rd down percentage. Let's see if they do it again here to kick off this second half. Lining up out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Tailback to his left. Faulkner getting ready for it, calls for the snap and takes it. Looking to throw, pressure somewhat gets there. It does get there. Call it a sack for the Eagles. Kevin White yet again, have a day. The sophomore out of Millville, New Jersey, gets himself another tally. And it's going to bring up 4th down for St. A's. For Kevin White, call it his 2nd TFL of the day. Actually, his 3rd TFL of the day. The punt is up and it goes out of bounds. So maybe a bit of an unsung hero defensively for Post University, having a tremendous outing against the interconference foe. And once again, we'll give the Eagles offense another try, only down 9 points now. They were set up with great field position last time out after recovering the fumble on the kickoff. Couldn't do much with it, however. It was Tyler Pumachon at quarterback the entire time. This time it's Malachi Taylor coming back out there for the Eagles. Defensively by St. A's, well, they've been led by Noki so far, which is to be expected. One of their star defensive ends. See what Taylor and this post offense can do. Takes the shotgun snap, hands it off. No gain that time. Boy, stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Looks like it was Wolf in there on the tackle. Tanner Wolf, the junior linebacker out of Bradenton, Florida, one of the NE10 leaders in tackles this year. Had another great game, make that his 5th total tackle of the day. No gain, 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Taylor calling out the plays. Looks like it's Edward Bandy once again in there as the tailback. Fake the handoff, screen pass the other way, and it goes incomplete. Boy, a little bit of a wonky play design that time from Post University. Malachi Taylor looked like he faked a screen one way or faked a handoff one way and then went the other way, and the pass just looked too low. Believe it was Jaquan Bromell, the intended receiver, but not positive on it. It's going to bring up 3rd and long here for Post University, an area they have not been good in so far today. 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversion so far in this one. And Pumachan back in the game for the Eagles. Takes the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, scrambles out to his right, takes the short pass. This is Geraldo, breaks one tackle, has a long way to go, and doesn't get really anywhere close. Call it a gain of 1 or 2 on the play, and it brings up 4th and long. So the Eagles, as expected, in their own territory, and 4th and about 8 yards to go, decide to bring out the punting unit. Post, it's their punter, Hayden Hall. Back to return, it's John Hosney. Hall gets the kickoff just barely. Boy, actually, player on St. Anselm said that they had a hand on that one, might have tipped it a little bit, so Hosney decides to let it bounce, and it ends up being a really post-friendly bounce down to the 10-yard line. Not great field position for St. A's to kick off their next drive. Great punt overall. That time for Hayden Hall, the freshman punter out of Darien, Connecticut, somewhat of a hometown kid. And they'll give yet another try for this St. Anselm offense. Second drive of this second half. So Faulkner back in there at quarterback. Last drive was a 3-and-out. Actually, they went backwards 1 yard for the entirety of it. So let's see if they can do a little better here. Can St. A's? Faulkner decides to hand it off to Croce, driving up the middle, trying to push the pile forward, but eventually gets brought down. There's Jordan Reamer and company in there on the tackle for Post University. Officially, I think it goes down as Palmer who made the stop there. It goes down. Going to bring up 2nd and 10. Call it no gain officially on the play for Croce. So Faulkner back in there, still at his own 10, maybe 9-yard line. Looking to go a long ways to try to add on to their 9-point lead. 2 to his left, 2 to his right. Looking to throw. Faulkner fires the quick pass out of the shotgun and leaves it just over the head of his receiver. That was Jaden Haynes once again trying to get the target. You can tell that St. Anselm trying to target their senior wideout a little bit more. Don't believe he had any targets in the first half. Definitely didn't have a reception. Already has a reception and now multiple targets here in the second. Either way, it brings up 3rd down and 10 for St. Anselm, which once again started off the game well, but the Post defense has started to stand up strong, really in the second quarter, and now it's to kick off this third quarter. St. A's taking their time in the huddle here, come out quickly. Faulkner has no running back with him. 2 receivers to his right, 3 to his left. 3rd and 10. Let's see what St. A's draws up. Post bringing pressure, rushing 6. And they draw a quick pass, a little slant round once again to their senior wideout, Jaden Haynes, and that's going to be good enough for a first down. Make them 5 for 11 now on 3rd down today. A big 3rd down conversion for St. A's. The clock gets moving once again. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line now. Called a gain of 15 officially. And for Drew Faulkner, that's only his 2nd completion here in this second half. They have tried running the ball 3 times, but they've actually gone backwards. -5 yards total here in the third quarter. See if that trend stays up. The Post rushing defense has been standing strong. They try to run it once again, hand off to the right side, and this time they have a lane. Breaking through and getting down to the 50-yard line. It was Aiden Jones breaking through for St. Anselm. Another one of an unsung hero for the Hawks here. A big gain in the rushing attack right on cue for St. A's. The Post defense, rushing defense breaks apart a little bit that time. Called another 1st and 10 for the Hawks. For Aiden Jones, officially a gain of 21 on the play, all the way down to the St. Anselm 45-yard line. Looks like Jones is going to stay in the game here for St. Anselm. We'll see if they give the ball off to him once again. It's interesting, Emmanuel Laura Cuenta is listed as the third-string running back on their depth chart, as there's a pass, and it looks like it's intercepted. Turnover forced by the Eagles. And defensively, it's their star safety, Michael Cabetti, getting the turnover. For Gabetti, his team-leading second interception of the season. It's the second turnover forced today by Post. That was a very impressive play. Faulkner, who has been on fire so far this game, trying to fire a little quick pass. The short game has been working well for St. Anselm, but Gabetti read it well, his safety reading the eyes of the quarterback. And it looked like that time he just was able to read the route. Now they fake the handoff here to Geraldo instead. It's going to be Pumachan on the quarterback scramble, taking it ahead and gets the first down. Call it a gain of 11 to the St. Anselm, call it the 41-yard line. Eagles offense looking to take advantage on the gift that their defense just left them. Once again, same play design. Pumachan breaks a tackle, hurdles over a man, and runs out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Looks like there's a man down on the St. A side. Oh, boy. Grabbing the back of his knee, it looks like. Trying to find a number for you. I think it might be... Well, you know what? I don't want to say the wrong name by accident. So we're going to take a quick break, try to find out who the man down is for you. So he needs to get helped out to his feet. Don't go anywhere as you're watching Post University football. Back in here at Municipal Stadium in Waterbury, and the man down, that would be the junior defensive lineman out of Newton, New Jersey, Cardin Madry, right end for St. Anselm, getting helped off the field by a couple of his defensive line teammates. Just a tough sight to see. Didn't see the injury, but saw that he looked to be grabbing the back of his leg as he was down, and just never like to see that. So hope that Cardin Madry is okay as he gets over to the sideline. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, it'll be 2nd and 4 as they're driving into St. A's territory. Still Pumachan in there at quarterback. Takes the snap. This time he does hand the ball off. It's Adonis White getting just through the line of scrimmage and trying to fight forward for an extra couple of yards. Looks like he's going to be just shy of that first down marker, 3rd and maybe a yard and a half here. With the Eagles draw up here, they've been relying a bit more on their quarterback runs and their quarterback throwing game to start off this third quarter. We'll see if that remains the case, but on 3rd and 1, the strength of this team is their rushing game. Gotta figure they'll hand the ball off to their star running back. Does seem to be Adonis White in there. They do give the ball, they fake the handoff. It's Pumachan taking it instead, and he scrambles out of bounds past the first down marker. Good enough for a first down. Call him down maybe at the 29, 28-yard line, they'll say, just outside of the red zone. And now Post looking to drive down the field, looking to come back in this game. They trailed at halftime 19-7. They were able to recover the second half kickoff. They forced a fumble and recovered it. Got 3 points after that turnover, and now looking to add on, make it a one-score game. Malachi Taylor back in there at quarterback for Post University. Double tailback set, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Taylor looks to throw, drops back in the pocket, fires deep down the middle of the field. He has a man, it's Geraldo, touchdown! What a season Israel Geraldo is having as the Eagles put 6 on the board. For Israel Geraldo, his first receiving touchdown of the season. And boy, did the Eagles need that. Get some momentum on offense. Malachi Taylor with his second throwing touchdown of the year. And the Eagles an extra point away from bringing this game to within 2 points. Snap is down, the hold is good, the kick is up, and it is good. So very quickly here in the third quarter, from trailing 19-7, Eagles now down 19-17. It's been the turnover battle that has been going their way so far in this second half. The Eagles getting points off the interception by Michael Gabetti. One of the star safeties, one of the NE10's leading tacklers so far this year. And it's the Post leading tackler, in fact. Top of many other statistics for Gabetti, and leads to 7 points for Post University. Be interesting to see how this St. Anselm offense can respond. Offensively on the year, they're about 6th in the conference at 19.8 points per game. Well, they scored that total in the first half. But they have struggled somewhat here in the second half. They were able to get the ball down the field. But the turnovers have hurt them. So, once again, the Eagles ready to kick it off for the third time already here in this third quarter. It's Nathan Hawkins, the place kicker. Back to return, Jack Cohn and Malachi Jones. Kick is up and over end, driving them way deep. Jack Cohn just lets it go over his head into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. And St. Anselm will start their drive off at their own 25-yard line. For St. Anselm today, their last 5 drives, the last 4 drives have all ended in different types of turnovers or punts. So looking to get that offensive scheme going. So Faulkner in there for St. Anselm. 3 receivers split out to his left. Looks like Anthony Almeida is the tailback. And they do hand it off to Almeida, who has a wide open hole up the middle. Gets swallowed up quickly at the second level, but called a gain of 4 that time on the first down run. Second and manageable for St. Anselm. It's been somewhat of a split rushing attack here for St. A's today. Mostly carried by Croce. 13 attempts for 53 yards so far, but Jones, he has 21 yards, and Almeida, he has 9 yards. We'll make it 13 yards, actually, after that last 4-yard carry. 2nd and 6 here in their own territory. Call it the 29-yard line. Faulkner, once again, hands it off, and once again it's Almeida trying to break a tackle, but he gets spun down that time. Good open field tackle from Equan Crawford, the starting inside linebacker for Post University, and it brings up 3rd and short for St. A's. Third and 2 here for St. Anselm. So far on the day, they're 5 for 11 in third down efficiency, just under 50%. Let's see what Post does in their pre-snap look defense. Looks like they're stacking up the line of scrimmage. So is St. A's. A fullback and a halfback in there for St. Anselm. And it looks like Noki takes the snap, almost was going to hand it off, instead goes to his tight end for the short pass completion. That's more than enough for the first down. Good play design that time. And the completion to Kevin McGurn moves the sticks for the Hawks. Ronan Noak with the completion that time for St. A's, deciding to come in, more mobile quarterback, and rolling him out of the pocket and finding that short little flat route. Just over 3 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. What has been a third quarter for Post University to enjoy so far, but the Hawks trying to close out strong. Faulkner back in the game. Takes the shotgun snap. Post bringing pressure, but the handoff goes nowhere. Right at the line of scrimmage. It's Almeida again, who's been relied upon really this set for St. Anselm. Call it no gain that time. Actually call it a loss of 1 for Post. And brings up 2nd and 11. Eagles fans making a good amount of noise here at Municipal Stadium. It's been a fun game if you decided to join us on a beautiful day here in Waterbury, Connecticut. 2nd and long, 2nd and 11, empty set look. Faulkner out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks to throw, fires to his left and has a man. Short pass completion and swallowed up immediately was Kyle Variest as he made the catch. Looked like it was Shakir Price as well as a few others in there on the tackle for Post defensively. Brings up 3rd and long here. Smart play that time and smart play call from St. Anselm. Just looking to make it 3rd and manageable, get the ball moving a little bit after the loss of 1 on first down. By the way, it was Shakir Price in there on the previous play as well who got the tackle for loss. So Price making his presence felt defensively for Post University. Here we go, 3rd and 6 for St. Anselm. Faulkner. Pressure drops off for Post University. Out of the pocket, fires towards his right, brings him in front of the first down marker, but ultimately a nice job by Malachi Jones getting the first down and moving the sticks. So Faulkner, once again, this quick, short completion game has been working for St. Anselm today. And Faulkner continues to just raise that completion percentage, I should say. Now in this game, 16 for 25, 161 yards, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. Has been sacked twice today. And right now, if you're Post, with a couple of third down conversions on this drive for St. A's, you'd like to see one of those sacks come up. Takes the snap, handoff out of the shotgun. This is Croce. Croce into the second level and finally gets swallowed up right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 10 even that time. That's another first down for St. Anselm. Great offensive line blocking that time for St. A's. Left a wide open hole for Croce to run through. Took advantage of it, now moving into enemy territory. Croce, his 15th rushing attempt of the day. Before that one came in averaging 4.5 yards a carry. And that's actually going to bring us to the end of this third quarter. So it started with Post trailing by 12 points. They only trail by 2 all of a sudden. It's 19-17 here on Post University football. Here in the fourth quarter, ready to go. St. Anselm driving down the field, looking to add on to their 19-17 lead. Faulkner having another tremendous game for the Hawks. 16 for 25, that's 64%, 167 yards. Comes into this fourth quarter with a 1st and 10 at the post-university 39-yard line. So we have a bit of a stoppage here before we're ready and set to go. One of the referees needed to actually come up here to the press box. And now he's back on the field. And boy, you see something new every day here in the NE10. I haven't quite seen that one before. Referee comes out of the stance. And he's back into position. So now it looks like we're all set. St. Anselm with a 1st and 10 at the post-university 39-yard line. Faulkner having another tremendous game, looking to add on to it and add on to a 2-point Hawks lead. Out of the shotgun snap. 2 receivers to his left and right, but he decides to hand it off. Call it a gain of 4 or 5 right there rushing. That was Jones once again for St. Anselm. Boy, how about Jones through this game? Was averaging 21 yards a carry. Oh, excuse me, that was only his 3rd carry of the game, so short sample size, but still some good numbers for Jones so far early in this one. Adding a little spark to a running game that has been hard to come by today for St. Anselm. It's been the passing game leading them. Three receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Faulkner once again in an empty set. Post, looks like they're rushing 3. We'll sign if that stays true. It does. See if they can get any pressure here. Faulkner evades some of it. Now he's just going to throw it out of bounds. And the general direction of Jaden Haynes. But a smart play once again as Post was getting some pressure defensively. Brings up 3rd down and medium here. Third and 5 coming up for St. Anselm University. 7 for 13 on the day. 2 for 2 on this drive so far on 3rd down conversions. Post looks like they're coming out with a nickel look defensively. 3 receivers to the right offensively for the Hawks. A little handoff up the middle. Croce looks like he has enough for the 1st down and then some. Sheds a couple of tackles and eventually gets brought down about a couple yards past the marker at the post 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Hawks once again. Make them 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions here on this drive. Overall in this game, time of possession has been dominated by St. Anselm so far. 30 minutes, 45 seconds, as opposed to just 14 minutes and change for Post University. You're seeing that really stay true on this drive. Lots of 1st downs, lots of 3rd down conversions. Post decides to bring pressure here on 1st down, and Croce sheds the tackle. An unblocked blitzer from the secondary. Croce gets by it, called a gain of 5 or 6 on 1st down to bring up 2nd and manageable. Nice play that time from the running back for St. A's. Looks like there's another man down for the Hawks here, and oh boy, I believe this is Jake Croce down in the red zone for St. Anselm. So we're going to take another break as the athletic trainers check on him. Don't go anywhere. It's the Hawks driving down the field up 19-17. Croce was able to walk off to the sideline with a little bit of help, but looked like he was doing okay. Hopefully he's all right. Over on the sideline for St. Anselm. Meanwhile, going to be 2nd and 5 here for the Hawks at the 20-yard line of Post University, knocking on the door of the red zone. Eagles look like they're bringing pressure defensively. A couple of guys come up to the line of scrimmage. Faulkner makes an adjustment, takes the snap, decides to hand it off. This is Almeida, the backup running back who's had himself a nice game so far today. Makes it about 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 here. Almeida in this game, that was his 7th rushing attempt. In the game prior to that, he had 16 yards, so 2.7 a carry. Might either be a gain of 3 or a gain of 4 that time. Brings up 3rd and 2 for the Hawks. 3 for 3 so far in third down conversions. A big part of that has been making them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable for St. Ace. Remains true here. Let's see if they can convert it again. This is Noki in at quarterback, takes the direct snap, running it through the middle himself. Going to depend on this spot, but it looks like it's a good one for St. Ace. Going to be a first down as Noki gets the direct snap handoff and runs it through the sticks. So Ronan Noak comes off the field. It's Faulkner back on there in the red zone. Yet again, not quite enough for 1st and goal for St. A's. At the 14-yard line, call it 1st and 10. Faulkner takes the snap, hands it off to Almeida. Almeida breaking towards his left, through a couple of tackles, penalty down, and he is down short at the 1-yard line, almost in the end zone. We'll see what the marker is. Flag on the play. But a nice run there by Anthony Almeida, the junior. It sounds like it was a holding that time. Ross Olinger, the left guard, senior. 6'3", 280 pounds out of Marshfield High School. And that was a very nice gain for a 1st and goal opportunity for St. Anselm that gets taken off the board. Only the 3rd penalty called on St. A's today. Only the 4th penalty in this game on either side. It's been a very clean football game. Refs have not gotten involved too much. Makes it a tough 1st and 20 situation for the Hawks. And once again, this is Ronan Noak in at quarterback. Looks to pass, fakes the pass, a little delayed quarterback draw that time. He gets tackled to the ground hard, right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play. And the design quarterback run doesn't work out that time for the Hawks. Brings up 2nd and 20. Both of these teams use their quarterback platoons, so to speak. One more passing focused, one more running focused. Really, for Post, it's been more split than I expected coming into this one. You can tell they want to run the ball when they have Noki in there. And that time just didn't work out for the Hawks. 2nd and 20. It's Faulkner in at quarterback once again. 2 receivers to his right. 2 to his left as well. Looking to throw. Decides to take the short, flat check down route to Croce, who spins off a tackle and gets dragged out of bounds. Boy, the physicality from Jake Croce off the charts so far today, making his presence felt. Also, it's just good to see him back out there after he had to get helped off the field earlier. Still 3rd and very long here for St. Anselm. Actually, that might have been officially no gain or close to no gain. 3rd and 20 here. See what the Hawks draw up on 3rd and long to try to keep this long drive going even further. Looking to throw. This is Faulkner looking to evade pressure, trying to keep his eyes down the field and just throws it out of bounds smartly. Pressure was starting to get there from that post-University defense. It's going to bring up 4th and long here, and assume the field goal unit is coming out. But the field goal unit has not been a bright spot for St. Anselm so far this year. They'll try only their 2nd field goal attempt of the year. An extra point came into this game only 5 for 8. And remember, they missed one earlier. So this is no gimme by any means. Place kicker coming into the game. It's Michael Guarnieri. Again, 1 for 1, and the Eagles fans making some noise right around the 30-yard line. So call it a 37-yard kick. The kick is up, and it's good. Guarnieri adds on to the St. A's lead. It's now a 22-17 game, I should say. 5-point difference between these two teams as we're going down the bumpy road to the finish. Under 9 minutes left to go. And a St. Anselm kickoff coming up next in just 30 seconds. So kickoffs have been nothing but anything other than straightforward today is what I meant to say. Kickoffs, they've been just interesting to watch today. Guarnieri with that short little squib, somewhat onside we've seen. Chasing after it are the Eagles, a scramble for it, a pile up, and it did look like the Eagles and Edward Bandy specifically came on top of it. A bunch of people still pushing and shoving after the play. There was a little fight for the ball. It did look like St. A's might have instigated that one, so to speak. I don't see any penalty markers down on the field. Fans were calling for it. The Eagles especially were calling for it. But it looks like nothing got called, and the Eagles do get the football and will go on offense here, trailing by 5 points and just under 9 minutes to go in this fourth and final quarter. So once again, it's kind of that platoon quarterback strategy we've seen from Post University, and Tyler Pumachan will start this drive for the Eagles. All alone in the backfield by himself with 2 receivers to his left and 2 to his right. Now they send a man in motion, fake the jet sweep to Geraldo, a design quarterback run, and Pumachan breaks a couple of tackles and decides to go down just shy of the 50-yard line. Good enough for a first down for the Eagles. How about rushing-wise today for Tyler Pumachan? Actually, the leading rusher prior to that last one, 6 attempts for 27 yards, 4.5 a carry. Now, it looks like we have another man down on the field for St. A's here. We'll get you the name and number when we come back. Don't go anywhere here on Post University Football. Looked like the man down was number 24, Miles Sneed for St. Anselm that time around. Able to walk off under his own power without any help needed, so good to see. And he's keeping his helmet on the sideline right now. So hopefully their starting outside linebacker will be able to come back into this game. But otherwise, Malachi Taylor with pressure in his face deep down the field, wide open. Israel Geraldo into the 5-yard line. And the Eagles with a huge completion take it into the red zone. How about this kid, Israel Geraldo? If you didn't know the name, you better learn it now. He has had a star season so far for the Eagles, and that is continuing here today. What a throw that time. Malachi Taylor showing off the arm strength in what's considered to be a run-first offense. Getting a big opportunity. His number got called, and boy, he found Geraldo wide open down the field. Pumachan back in at quarterback at the 4-yard line, 1st and goal for the Eagles. Looking for their second touchdown of the day. Decides to hand it off. This is Bambi down to the 1-yard line. Boy, a good tackle that time. Looking for a number, I believe it was Thomas Hoffman who made the play defensively for St. Anselm. Was able to get Bambi down at the 1-yard line. So Post electing to lean on that running game once again near the end zone. Malachi Taylor does have 2 touchdowns to his name today. Doesn't look like this is Taylor under Center, or a little tush-push attempt. It's Pumachan, and he lost the football. Scramble forward, a pile up. No signal from the referees yet. It looks like it's going to stay Post's way. And the referees, I believe, are signaling that the Eagles are down at the 1-yard line. Eagles going into the no huddle once again. Hey, if it didn't work the first time, try it again. This is 3rd and goal here with the tush-push play. Pumachan, no signal as of yet. Boy, that pile is still moving. Fans making noise. Referees haven't signaled anything. Nothing as of yet. And I believe it's going to be 4th down. Boy, how about a goal line stand here from St. Anselm? Post a little frustrated with the spot. It looked like they got that pile to push into the end zone. And now the Eagles might be going with a hurry up once again. It's going to be 4th and goal here from the 1-yard line. Might be able to see it from our camera view, but the Eagles sideline not very happy about the spot, and I don't blame them. We have a timeout here on the field. I could be mistaken, but I believe the Eagles might be challenging the spot. So don't go anywhere as we're going to review this. We'll be right back. So the Eagles end up not challenging the spot. Instead, they just take a timeout, want to talk over this 4th down play they have coming up. And it does look like they're going to do at least a version of the tush-push once again. Call it 4th and goal from the 1.5-yard line. Pumachan in at quarterback, tush-push formation. They run it once again, and this time, waiting for a signal. Touchdown, Eagles! Pumachan runs it in on the tush-push. And the Eagles, for the first time today, take a 23-22 lead. Try again for Post University. Ran the tush-push 3 times at the 1, 2, and 1 yard line. Well, maybe 1.5 yard line that time around. Ends up working out in their favor. Now up by only 1 point. Looks like the Eagles are setting up to go for 2 here. Obviously makes sense trying to make it a field goal game. Just under 6 minutes left to go here in this final quarter of play. Touchdown officially goes to Pumachan. The rushing touchdown, one of the NE10's leading rushers, leading scorers on rush plays this season. He's back in there at quarterback for the 2-point try. It's Edward Bandy in there for Post. Here comes the pressure right in the face of Pumachan, and he gets dragged down. Big defensive play by Joe Marino, the sophomore D lineman out of Westboro, Massachusetts. Gets the sack on the 2-point attempt. It looked like they were going to let Pumachan trying to throw it for the 2-point conversion that time, but it goes no good. It remains a 1-point game. Eagles get their first lead of the ball game, 23-22. Scoring play for the Eagles, or scoring drive for the Eagles, I should say. 7 plays, 65 yards, drove down the field in 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Ended with that 1-yard tush-push run from their quarterback, Tyler Pumachan. And now with their first lead of the ball game, the Eagles will kick it off and try to lean on their defense here with 5:45 left to go in this fourth quarter. Back to return it, it's Jack Cohn and Malachi Jones, the two returners. Kicking it off, Nathan Hawkins. And the kick is up end over end. And it's going to go over the head of Jack Cohn into the end zone for yet another touchback on the kick. And it'll be another opportunity here for the St. Anselm offense. Boy, for the Hawks, their last drive ended in a field goal attempt. It was a long drive, 11 minutes on the play clock, 18 plays, but only 53 yards. They did end up converting on on third down quite a few times, brought up that total on the day. That really feels like the number that is going to decide this game. It's who wins the battle when St. Anselm is on offense on third down. Is it the defense in post? Is it the offense in the Hawks? Looks like they're going to set up the ball on the left hash mark instead of the right one as originally planned. So everybody moves over a few steps, and now it looks like the Hawks offense is ready to go. I believe this is Noki in there at quarterback to start him off. Takes the shotgun snap and hands it off to Almeida. Almeida finds a little hole, driving towards his left, carrying the pile, breaking a few tackles, and finally goes down. I believe just shy of that first down marker at their own 34-yard line, we'll call it. Anthony Almeida showing up and showing out, especially in the second half for St. Anselm rushing-wise on the game. That was his 8th rushing attempt of the night, netting 20 yards so far total. Faulkner hands the ball off once again. Another running call here for St. Anselm. This time it's Jones, and Jones gets swallowed up. Just a few yard gain that time, but it's good enough for a first down for St. A's. Continuing to move the chains, trying to raise that time of possession battle in which St. A's has really dominated here today. It's a good way to win football games, especially when both these offenses seem to be centered around their rushing attack. You want to win the time of possession battle, and St. A's, they've done a good job of that today. Faulkner once again out of the shotgun, three receivers to his right, one to his left. And yet again, another handoff, the third straight play, but this time Almeida runs straight into the big body of Jordan Reamer. That defensive tackle at 380 pounds. Boy, stands out as a big run stopper, and that's what nose guards are in there for. Reamer doing it well. Brings up second down. Looks like 2nd and 9 from my vantage point here. Maybe a gain of 1 officially on that last play. That one was Hugo Silsby with a rush. Might have been his first rushing attack of the game. So Faulkner in there once again at quarterback. 2 to his right, 1 to his left. See if they hand it off for a 4th straight time. This time it's play action, and Faulkner looking down the field but has nobody. Scrambling to his left, looking for a receiver, and I believe he caught that, leaning out of bounds. No, the referees are going to say incomplete. That was Malachi Jones, who has had himself a game, especially in the first half, but wasn't able to drag the foot inbounds that time around. It's going to bring up 3rd and long here. As aforementioned, feels like this is the number, this is the stat that both coaches are going to be looking at. What happened here on 3rd down when the Eagles are on defense and the Hawks are on offense? Empty set look, at least that's what they start in for St. Anselm. Post in their base 3-4 nickel set, it looks like. Faulkner takes a snap, looking to throw. Pressure off the edge, he evades it. Now rolling out to his right, looking to evade one tackle, he does so. Now looking to run and smartly just slides down, called a gain of a few. But great job there and coverage by post defensively. And it's going to bring up 4th and medium in their own territory here. But the clock's ticking down, under 4 minutes to go. And I haven't seen the punt team come onto the field yet for St. Anselm. It looks like the Hawks are going to elect to go for this. The Eagles fans trying to make some noise. The Eagles on the sideline trying to pump up their fans. This officially 4th and 9 on the day. 1 for 2 on 4th down conversion are St. A's. Boy, it looked like the snap came up on Faulkner at that time. Pressure off the edge. He evades it. The throw on the run, incomplete. Turnover on downs, and the Eagles take over. Looked like that play was just never right from the jump there for St. Anselm. Faulkner had a little bit of trouble with the snap. There was an unblocked rusher off that left edge, and the Eagles able to take advantage, take field position over. Now with a 1-point lead and 3:13 left to go in this fourth quarter. 2:44 actually. They're going to take some time off the clock here. So 2 minutes, 44 seconds left to go in this game. Got to imagine that the Eagles are just going to try to run out the clock. Of course, St. Anselm, they do have all 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. So the Eagles need at least one, if not multiple first downs to convert the win. After seeing mostly Tyler Pumachan here in this second half, looks like it's going to be Malachi Taylor starting for the Eagles here on this drive. Taylor immediately hands it off. Adonis White breaking a couple tackles, driving towards his right. Call it a gain of about 5 on the play, second and manageable for Post. Got to imagine that the Eagles are going to let this play clock wind down to under 5 seconds just about every single time here, or force St. Anselm to burn some of their timeouts. Doesn't look like the Hawks have decided to do so as of yet. So the Eagles are trying to wind down the clock, but not going to lie, the clock is really hard to see from here on the field. The sun is shining kind of right in the direction, and it looks like that is going to take us to the 2-minute timeout. What a comeback for Post University. At the halftime mark, they trailed in this one 17-9, and now with 2 minutes left to go in the game, they lead 23-22. Malachi Taylor and the Eagles offense back out there trying to put this game on ice. 2 minutes left to go. St. Anselm does have all 3 of their timeouts left. Taylor immediately gets the ball. Looks like our cameras went down a little bit, so he hands it off. This is Adonis White breaking to his right, getting enough for the first down, and finally gets dragged down after a gain of 11 that time. Goes over to the St. Anselm 29-yard line, but I believe there's a penalty marker down. We apologize for the technical difficulties here. And the penalty was down. It's going to be a hold on their experienced veteran right tackle, Gio Rivera. It's going to bring him back 10 yards and erase what was an 11-yard gain that time from Adonis White. One of the nicer runs we've seen from him all night long. Broke a few tackles, dragged over to his right. And there's our cameras back online. Boy, it's always when the moment matters the most, isn't it? 23-22, Post out in front. Glad I don't have to do the radio call. Tyler Pumachan back in at quarterback for the Eagles. That penalty does stop the clock, so St. Anselm doesn't need to burn a timeout here. Call it second and about 15 on this play. Direct snap, quarterback run, Pumachan gets to maybe a gain of 3 or 4 that time. And it's a timeout there by St. A's. Going to bring up maybe 3rd and 11 or 12 here. Another 30-second timeout. We'll be back in just a quick minute. Post leading 23-22. Called officially 3rd and 12 for Post University from the 44-yard line of St. A's. Let's see what Adam Schultz and this Eagles offensive staff cooks up, wanting a conversion to put this game on ice. Send a man in motion, it's Geraldo. Little fake jet screen, but the penalty marker comes out. It's going to be a false start on the Eagles. It's going to turn a 3rd and 12 into a 3rd and 17. And not only that, but the Eagles kind of showed their hand a little bit with that fake jet screen quarterback run action. So we'll see if they elect to do the same type of play. Moving the game clock back to 1:46. So 3rd and 17 officially. It does look like Pumachan will stay out there as the quarterback for Post. Schultz calls his plays from the sideline. Interesting decision coming up here for the Eagles. Do they try to make St. A's burn a timeout? Do they play it aggressive? Right now, Pumachan making an adjustment at the line of scrimmage. St. A's looking like they're bringing pressure. Takes the shotgun snap, hands it off to White. White breaks a tackle, bounces to the outside, breaks another tackle, and eventually gets brought down somewhat hard. Still with a long ways to go. So the Eagles decide to play it a bit safe, trust their defense here. Make St. Anselm burn another timeout, and it's going to bring up 4th and long. Looks like the Hawks are going to get one more opportunity here. A couple of penalties on that drive for Post. Really just stalled what would be some very good momentum and a great opportunity to put the game on ice. Instead, St. Anselm going to have one last shot on offense to try to take a lead. So don't go anywhere. It's another 30-second timeout as you're watching Post University football. So 4th and 14. And as expected, the punting unit comes out onto the field for Post University. One timeout left for St. Anselm. Punting it for the Eagles, it'll be Hayden Hall. Back to return, it's John Hosney. 1:37 left to go in this 4th quarter. Only one timeout left for St. Anselm. The snap goes off, the punt up in the air. Somewhat of a short punt. It actually takes a St. A's bounce, bounces back to right around the 12, 13-yard line. Looks like there might be a man down once again for St. Anselm here on the return. So we're going to have to take another break. That's Xavier Arce, I believe, down on the field. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Hopefully Arce will be able to get up under his own power here on Post University football. So one last opportunity for St. Anselm so far today. It'll all be up to Drew Faulkner and crew. Faulkner today, 17 for 30, 166 yards, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. And it all comes down to this. 1st and 10 for St. Anselm from their own 13-yard line. They'll have to go 87 yards down the field. Faulkner, shotgun snap, has a man open down the field, and then some, all the way down to the 40 and to the 44-yard line. Getting dragged down is Kyle Various, but a great gain on the first play of the drive, and now moving into no-huddle offense go the Hawks. Boy, bring it all the way up to right around midfield. Various and Faulkner, that connection has worked all day today. No huddle, Faulkner looking to throw once again, and this time incomplete, intended for Jaden Haynes over that by the left sideline. Called a 30-yard gain on that play to Kyle Various. Now it brings up 2nd and 10. Eagles trying to stand strong. If you're St. Anselm, all you need is a field goal, but how much do you trust your field goal unit right now? They're 2 for 2 on the year on field goal attempts, but 5 for 8 coming into today, and they missed an extra point attempt. Either way, you have to get down there first. Faulkner with a big drop back decides to take the screen pass. Croce misses a few tackles and ends up getting a first down, called a gain of 11 that time for Croce, and once again a first down for the Hawks. Croce receiving-wise, only his second reception of the day. He's in there to block this time. Another quick pass intended for Jaden Haynes, and it's complete. 5-yard gain, but it keeps the clock moving. Under a minute to go here in this fourth quarter. Rather than keep the clock moving, actually, it looks like St. Anselm is going to elect to burn their final timeout. Where do we think field goal range is here for St. A's? I got to guess right around the 25-yard line is your goal to maybe take an attempt at a game-winning field goal, but that's going to be a lot of pressure. Either way, another 30-second timeout. Don't go anywhere on Post University Football. Interesting decision from Joe Adam, electing to burn his final timeout here. Just under a minute. They added some time back on the clock. 54 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter. Faulkner been good on this drive so far, ready to go in the shotgun snap. 3 receivers out to his right, 1 to his left, and he takes it. Drop back, 3-step, avoids the pressure, rolling out towards his right, looking for a man downfield, keeps his eyes downfield, eventually throws it, but that's going to be incomplete. Looked like Verius had 2 feet out of bounds that time. It clearly looked incomplete from over here. And yes, in fact, it was a late signal, and you saw some of the Eagles coaches arguing with the referees, but they do get it right, and it was incomplete. So call it 3rd and medium here for St. Anselm. This is 4-down territory for the Hawks, so interesting to see what the play call is going to be with no timeouts. Takes the shotgun snap, does Faulkner, throws towards his left and overshoots his man Verius once again. Pressure in the face of Faulkner. Looks like there's an Eagles defender, somebody on the defensive line a bit shaken up, coming up gingerly, but seems to be okay and gives a thumbs up towards the sideline. That's been Kevin White, who's had a star game today, especially in the first half. Now 4th down, and you could hear this crowd for the Eagles. Home field advantage, trying to make a difference for Post University. Officially call it 4th and 6. Faulkner needing the first down to keep this game alive for St. Anselm. Takes the shotgun snap. Pressure coming off the edge from White. Throws it, and he has a man up the middle. Verius makes the catch. Boy, what a play. Clutch time moment. And that might just put the Hawks in field goal range. Down at the 25-yard line. Looks like they're going to run quickly here. Faulkner taking another snap, and they're going to run a full-blown play. Faulkner decides to throw it towards the end zone. Has a man. Touchdown, Hawks. Domingo Meade with the potential walk-off winner. And the Hawks take the lead. The 4th touchdown pass of the day for Drew Faulkner. And St. Anselm goes on top. It's 28-23. Looks like they're going to go for 2 if I'm not mistaken here. That's Ronan Noak in there at quarterback. And just a heartbreaking touchdown if you're an Eagles fan. Jubilation if you're a Hawks fan. Noak in at quarterback, takes the snap, rolls out towards right, looks for a man, finds one, and the 2-point conversion is good. Kyle Verius, who has had himself a game yet again, increases the lead to a touchdown. 27 seconds left to go. And a last chance here, down by 7 points. are the Eagles. 2 timeouts. They'll be getting the ball back momentarily. Don't go anywhere and hold your breath here on Post University Football. The Eagles in this game trailed at halftime, 17-9. They made it all the way back and took a 23-22 lead with just over 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Actually, with a little less than that to go in the fourth quarter, I should say. And St. Anselm drives down the field, finds a way to score, and they take a touchdown lead with just under 30 seconds left. Of course, it's Geraldo back to return it, and the kickoffs have been anything but smooth for either side today. It hits the hands of Bandy and goes out of bounds. I believe that means it's Post University football, and yes, it does, in fact. So, called decent field position, 2 timeouts, right around the 34, 35. Actually, it looks like they're going to spot it at the 36-yard line of Post University. So we'll see what the Eagles can do here. Both their timeouts, and they're going to have to rely on the passing game. You assume that means we're going to see a lot of Malachi Taylor in this one. Taylor so far, well, he's 4 for 6 in the game, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So he's been good when given the opportunity. Going to have to be relied upon more than previously thought. Taylor takes the shotgun snap, looking to pass, fires it down the field, and it in and out of the hands of Israel Geraldo. Boy, Geraldo has been a sure thing all year long, all game long. He's been the star man to go to for the Eagles. He was open, had it in his chest, but it went in and out for the first time today. Seven-point lead for St. Anselm here. Call it 2nd and 10 for Post University, and the time ticked down to 19 seconds. Taylor still in there at quarterback. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Takes the snap out of the shotgun. Protection holds up. Another deep bomb down the field, but the receiver that time, DJ Lisbon, had to turn his shoulder. Maybe a little inaccurate from Taylor, and it's going to bring up 3rd down for the Eagles. No doubt that this is 4-down territory for Post University with so little time left, so don't have to get it all back here, especially when you have 2 timeouts to work with. You can have a quick 5-yard completion, but I'm sure the Eagles with so much yardage to go, probably not looking for that. Eagles line up, and it looks like the Hawks are going to be in prevent defense here. Taylor drops back. Hawks only rush 3 with a spy on Taylor. Throw over the middle, nowhere close. Intended for Geraldo once again. That's going to bring up 4th down. It looks like before this 4th down and long play, the Eagles going to want to take a timeout here, discuss things over. So once again, the last breath of air for Post University, down by 7 with 10 seconds left here on Post University football. Most likely the last play of the game for either side. Coming up here for the Eagles, it's Malachi Taylor in there at quarterback, 4th and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Eagles trailing by 7 points in what has been an extremely fun back-and-forth game here in NE10 action. Taylor takes the snap. St. Anselm brings pressure, gets picked up well. The throw deep down the field, finds some contact, drops to the ground, and that is going to do it. St. Anselm comes into Waterbury, Connecticut, and they're going to hand the Eagles their first loss of the season. Pass broken up that time by Caleb Lewis, who, again, had a couple of key plays earlier in this first half, and now it's just the formalities here for St. Anselm, going to try to run down the clock. 4 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter. What a game for the Hawks. What a game for Drew Faulkner at quarterback. 22 for 38, 252 yards, 4 touchdowns to 1 interception. At times had to put the team on his back, especially in that fourth quarter. Came up with the huge game-winning touchdown pass to Domingo Meade. Put them on top with just under 30 seconds left to go. And that would be all she wrote here in Waterbury. Your final from NE10 action, it's the St. Anselm Hawks 30, your Post Eagles 23, as the two teams meet at midfield for a handshake. What a game overall. St. Anselm got off to a 19-7 halftime lead, but Post made it a game again in the third quarter, coming back to take a 23-22 lead at one point. Both offenses played really well. Both defenses showed out where it mattered, but at the end of the day, it was Drew Faulkner and the St. Anselm Hawks with the game-winning touchdown drive with 27 seconds left to Domingo Meade, and ultimately they take a 30-23 lead. Thank you so much for joining us so much on Post University Football. For everybody else here, our team of graduate assistants, our athletics communications director, Michael Vesci, and myself, Max Stapleton, we say thanks so much for watching this game. Once again, it's St. Anselm 30 and Post 23. Have a good night, everybody.